In this tutorial, you'll learn how to add Docker-backed AutoByteus nodes to run multiple isolated environments concurrently. To create a managed Docker node, click Nodes in the sidebar. Then select the Docker Guide tab. We need the launcher. Click Copy on the installation command for your operating system. Open your system terminal, paste the command, and execute it to install the AutoByteus Docker tool. Back in the Docker Guide, you can find other useful commands. Let's copy the status command to check our active containers. Running this in the terminal confirms which node containers are currently up and running. Next, copy the AutoByteus Docker new container command. Paste and run this to pull the latest image. This creates a fully isolated backend environment. Once started, the launcher prints our connection details. Highlight and copy the new backend URL. In AutoByteus, select Manage Nodes. Name the remote node, paste the URL, and click Add Node. AutoByteus immediately opens the new node in its own dedicated window. You can reposition this window. It acts as a completely independent AutoByteus environment. Exploring settings reveals that this node has its own isolated API keys, agent packages, and configuration. Under server settings, the AutoByteus VNC host port matches the terminal output, confirming our container connection. It also maintains independent token statistics and run history. Now, let's open Agent Teams. Search for the Software Engineering team and click Run. AutoByteus supports 3 runtimes: AutoByteus, Codex App Server, and Claude Agent SDK. Here, we select Codex App Server. In the Team Chat, open the Terminal tab. Because this node is isolated, we authenticate Codex separately using the Codex login command. You'll also see the alternative device auth command highlighted. Switch to the VNC Viewer tab to see the container's graphical desktop. We can use Chromium here to complete the Google sign-in flow. Once authenticated, your Codex session is securely tied strictly to this Docker node. Back in the terminal, we verify the successful login and check our Codex version. We also run Claude version, showing that this node has Claude installed for the Claude Agent SDK runtime. We also run Claude version, showing that this node has Claude installed for the Claude Agent SDK runtime. In the VNC Viewer, close the Sign-in tab to prepare a clean workspace for our agent. Returning to the Solution Designer, ask the agent to use the Open Tab tool to open Google. The agent plans its execution and triggers the browser tool. Switching to the VNC Viewer, we can see the agent's action directly opening Google in the container's browser. The agent continues its research seamlessly using additional navigation tools. The Activity and Token tabs let you monitor exact tool usage and costs localized to this node. Under Files and Terminal, we can inspect the workspace. The node includes its own MCP projects, like Browser MCP, which you could configure or clone. In Settings, under MCP servers, we can edit the browser server to see its stdio configuration, pointing precisely to that container path. Clicking the server reveals the registered tools, like OpenTab, which power the agent's browser control. This entire agent configuration and execution loop is fully contained and isolated within this Docker node. If we switch back to our original AutoByteus window, we can arrange them side by side on our desktop. From Manage Nodes, we can open yet another node. AutoByteus launches a third dedicated window. By running multiple windows, you can manage separate accounts, workspaces, and parallel agent teams without interference. That is how you use Docker nodes to run parallel, isolated AutoByteus environments for multiple accounts and teams.